Forgive me if I don't do this like I normally do. I got to get some kind of light going on. Give me a second on that. Putin has declared war on the Ukraine. I can get this going on. Where is it? Is it? Oh, maybe I can just do it with the solar thing. Putin declared war on Ukraine and he just attacked Kharkov, which is the second largest city in the Ukraine. Pastor Joe is monitoring a live feed there and he's been exclaiming quite loudly, "Oh my God, oh snap," stuff like that. And I was in bed getting ready to go to sleep, so I'm not, shalom, shalom, shalom. I am not together right now. I just knew I had to do a live stream about this because this is big, big doings for us, y'all. He said he's going to schwack anybody who gets in the way. So that's a direct threat to NATO and our allies. It's also a warning to us, but Biden said he was not interested in getting at a big land battle with Putin and moved everybody to Poland, but that's still not good for our allies. Y'all, I got to get a light. So please, hey, Alex, Ukraine just declared war, or Russia just declared war on the Ukraine and is bombing their second largest city right as we speak. I've got to get a light though, y'all, so you can see me and so I can see you. So please be patient. I will be right back. Okay. All right, so war has been declared, and that is serious for us, y'all, because, oh man, that's not right. That's not right. Oh, yeah, that is right. Okay. There we go. Okay. Whew. Finally got a light of sorts. I'll see if I can get it to work for me. Well, I've already dragged the thing over here. Shalom, cracker turned Torah, brother JT. Hey, Manolito, thanks for Pastor Joe and me for this information.
Definitely, there's several loud explosions in Kiev. That'll probably be Spetsnaz.
Several loud explosions in Kiev. That'll be Spetsnaz, probably setting off things they already had there in motion. Dang it, I guess it gets super out of hand. We can get to survivor supplies and such as we have. Good evening, everyone from Eastern North Carolina. Shalom, Lamb Keeper and Sheepdog Tanker. Shalom, everyone.
Shouldn't be a surprise to anybody.
It's not a surprise to everybody, but it's serious. It's serious, guys, because Russia hasn't been in a land battle since World War II, really. And they fought in Afghanistan, but that didn't include NATO. It was pretty much just Russia and Afghanistan and Afghani. Hey, Forest Dog, Biden wants to detract from his own domestic problems and failures. I think it's bigger than that. I absolutely think it's bigger than that. I think the Dems have wanted this war since Hillary Clinton was in power.
Okay, I get to play my Blitzkrieg bot now.
And they had Chechnya too, but the point is that was internecine or whatever. It wasn't something that was a deliberate slap to NATO. Trump manages to avoid this for 4 years, but Biden doesn't make it to. Right, Ken. this is big doings for Europe too. Hey, Guinea Hill Homestead, hello. Um, Gosh, there's all sorts of rocket sounds in the back row. Russia will soften the ground with artillery and MLRS. They're already doing stuff like that. Major explosions in Kharkov. All the major news outlets are reporting it. It's on Twitter and everything else. I really, really want to get a better light. Let's see if I can. Yeah, that's just not strong enough. Okay. Let me go get a lamp, y'all. Talk amongst yourselves. So is that Kiev or Kharkov? That's better. All right. In 2 seconds more. And 1 second more. What's all that pop?
They're required MLRS, multiple rocket system.
Someone just said that. Is that in Kiev or Kharkov?
I don't know.
Right there. Okay. Whoever said MLRS, you were right. That was what was going off in the background. My daughter's been playing a bunch of music videos. Who did Sister Kate said declared war? Russia on Ukraine. All the news are covering it. Also, Shalom Gardner 67, Ukraine is being bombarded right now. Russia declared war on them. I really don't know what Biden's whole part of what's going on right now is.
He's not asleep.
Yeah, he's definitely not asleep. But the point is, what was his son doing over there, and what are they going to accomplish by having this war break out in Europe? Because it's not good for our allies over there. It's not good for Germany and France and Poland, because Putin has said his handlers aren't asleep, at least. That's what Pastor Joe just said. Putin has said he's going to schwack anybody who gets in his way, anyone who's going to get involved. So that puts huge pressure on our NATO allies. It puts huge pressure on any of Ukraine's allies. Pastor's playing Blitzkrieg Bop in the back. I guess he promised somebody that. This is crazy because Pastor and I have been watching the Russia situation since the mid-'80s because they were a major threat at that time. And all of our Germany stuff, we just left the graveyard of empires. Afghanistan about to get in war with Russia. Man, we should stay out of that war. We should just stay out of that war because America doesn't need to be at war right now. Our military's not doing very well. Our economy's in bad shape. We're a nuclear power. They're a nuclear power. We should not be butting heads with them at all. And I certainly hope Biden sticks to his word and says, we're not going to commit ground troops. But it's gone down. No war in Europe unless NATO tries to get involved. Germany's saying they aren't playing. I'm here coming in from Branson. It is icy. And with that, the Ukraine and Taiwan battlefront splits the U.S. forces and now are exposed via Canada. Somebody else said that also, but Trudeau just revoked his mandates, so I don't know what's going on with them, but they're still a protectorate of Britain. Can someone tell me what channels are reporting the invasion? Mama Bear. Pastor said all of them. So I'm assuming ABC, CBS, excuse me, CNN, BBC.
So I don't know what any mainstream media is doing.
Oh, maybe it was Twitter. Maybe
A bunch of different.
Fox is talking about it. Ken said, "What are you doing in there, cat? Hey, get out of there! Get out of there! Puss, come on! That is not your spot, you nut job." Sorry, you guys. Oh, it's crazy around here. There's McMikey. There's Hunter Seeker. There's Kenny Petty. ABC is. Yep. Now this, for preppers and stuff, you know what this means. It means that, supplies and all that stuff could be hard to get, etc., etc. But it's a bigger picture than that. With them being a nuclear power, is that a little bit less dramatic? I don't know. The whole alphabet soup of mainstream media networks are reporting it. Martial laws can be written and passed instantly even. Shalom, Margaret Foster. Hello from Phoenix. I pray for protection for the USA. That's the best prayer right there. Spyla Mary says top up everything. Yup. I was being about getting into a winter war with Russia. It's foolhardy in the extreme for the United States. That's right, Philip Hale. Think once again the waste of human life that will be gone. Exactly, George. There's a bunch of Ukrainians right now suffering bad. Shalom, Aaron Harrington. Shalom, y'all. This is historic. This is monumental. Throws a whole wrench. As if getting walloped by Afghanistan wasn't bad enough. Interesting time we got here. Yes, sir, Okie Storm Chaser. You know it. Students of history, people with gray in their hair, remember when our Cold War was against Russia. Talked to both my kids today, top off on everything, crossing my fingers I did so. Yeah. You guys need to be watching the news. We need to pray that it's not going to go nuclear. I pray we don't poke the bear, Errol says. I've been saying that on Twitter for weeks. Seriously looking at getting a wind turbine. Do you remember when I had that Holy Spirit download and the message to everyone was finish up your preps and help other people finish theirs? This may have been why. Because if you don't have stuff prepped up, you may not be able to do it from now on. Noel Leon. Who in here is a moderator? Is anybody in here a moderator yet? This is a planned takedown of US dollar. I wanted to make Sergeant James a moderator. I can't do it. Why can't I do that? Why can't I make anybody a moderator now? Man. Gonna be a long night. It sure is. Pastor Joe started drinking coffee at like 7. There's Gardner 67. Moderator check. Yes. I am having a hard time keeping up. Got here late. I don't know why I can't appoint anybody. I want to make some of you guys. Sergeant James, I want you to be a moderator, and it's not offering me the option. It's kind of making me mad. Well,
They're attacking Mariupol.
they're attacking Mariupol.
That's a big port.
It's a big port right now.
There's explosions going off in Odessa.
There's explosions going off in Odessa, and
That's their other big port.
that's their other big port. And what Pastor said about the Spetsnaz, they were probably already there planting bombs, getting ready to set them off when he declared war. It's all a globalist new world order great reset psyop. Well, it's for real, folks. Psyop or not, there are people getting killed over there right now. At least the bad weather canceled school tomorrow. I heard the patriarch of the Russian Orthodox Church claim that Putin plans to rebuild not the Soviet Union, but to build a new Byzantine Empire. I don't know about that. It would be a surprise for a lot of people if that's what he really intended to doing. I've been praying that it does not go nuclear for a while now. Me too. Did Damascus happen? Russia's bombing Ukraine. I don't know about Damascus. 14,000 casualties? Man, that's a quick count.
No, they don't know yet.
They probably don't know yet. But it's at least 4 or 5 cities involved now. My sister and I were just talking about hand pumps for our water wells, doing it ASAP, no time to waste. That's right. And if you don't get them, you need to know how to get that water out of your well without one. There's Chasing Life. Yes. You guys, please stay alert. I don't want any inflammatory or false information on tonight's live stream. And if you're not seeing them, I will. Yep. Sorry, you guys. I had to check something else on my texts. Yep. It should come back. I'm sorry. I had to check a text. Russia and China are going to spank the U.S. for all our iniquities, says Bobby J. Wells. I don't know about that. I think this is political, but you could be right. Come on.
This is Biden not wanting to have NATO right up against his border. He's been trying to tell people that for a couple of years.
Putin did not want NATO up against his border. He's been trying for a couple of years, telling everybody he didn't want that. And his conversation with Macron, he was very angry in the TV interview afterwards. Putin was. He's been very straightforward and very same about Crimea. He doesn't want. He wants this warm weather port. It's been theirs forever. Ukraine started messing with that. And by the way, you all, hey, Oki's boss, shalom. We overthrew an elected government in Ukraine. 2013. We overthrew that government and they were pro-Russian. We got our finger in there under Obama and we didn't belong there. And then Hunter Biden was over in Ukraine messing around. So this stinks to high heaven. Putin didn't want. Okay. I'm gonna go back to my text real quick. You all don't leave, please. I will be back. I will reconnect. This is a lot of things, a lot of pans in the fire. Tonight, sister, I do apologize. The last stream had to step away to help my son's school issue. It took much longer. Don't worry about it.
Oh yeah, they're making an assault on Mariupol.
They're making an assault on Mariupol right now. Fascist regime in Ukraine. That's right. All right, let me check my text. I will be right back. Dusty Gardner, Dale Hemingway, Granite State Man. Any truth of Poland and UK having a mutual defense pact with Ukraine? Granite State Man, they're part of NATO. I don't know.
What?
Does Poland and UK have a mutual defense pact with Ukraine?
I don't know, but it's definitely not part of NATO.
Ukraine is not part of NATO. So if Russia attacks Ukraine, then NATO does not have to respond.
Correct. And if they do, I think Putin's going to do them.
Whatever Putin's plan is, you can bet it was well thought out. Yes, it was. Yeah. If I go check a text on the phone, I can reconnect back to the live stream and I will continue to do so. I've got a lot of irons in the...
You should let them go.
Honey, I'm not going to let it go if it's people in the congregation or our kids. It's important. but I come back. I can come back. So just hang in there. Where's PJ getting the news from? Nothing here in Canada news. Fox News, Manlito. I think somebody else said ABC News.
CNN's probably got it.
CNN's probably got
They
it.
probably all have people in Kiev, right?
BBC's probably got it. Pastor said the Kiev airport was under attack right
Yeah,
now.
there's a firefight going on.
There's a firefight going on there. Severe sanctions called for. White House said severe sanctions called for. Thank you, Chase and Life. No worries, sister. Yeah, I just didn't want y'all to think that I started a live stream and then I hopped off and I forgot about everybody. I think it's really important that Coach TB says CNN is fake news. Well, this is not fake news, Coach TB, whether they are normally or not. Right now, this is going to be the biggest news story in decades. Huzzah, cut it out. Sorry, that's my dog. They just announced bombing in the Ukraine capital. Anyone else having internet problems? Ours keep going out. My internet is good right now, and it's not a good time for us, 9 o'clock at night. I mean, if you've got a 24-hour Walmart, you can go to the Walmart and start downloading stuff you don't already have. But I think you needed to have been listening and watching the news and getting prepped up. Only finding the ABC in Central, Fox and probably BBC are doing it too. Jimmy Carr says 5x5. We just heard about it in the women's group. Yeah, I don't even know what time it is, what time of day, night. Pastor and I have been hunkered down because of the cold, like on the video.
It's dawn in Ukraine. It's dawn in Ukraine.
It's dawn in Ukraine, but it's, it's nighttime for us here. Flight radar showed massive surveillance on our coast, said Bobby Wells. Do you know anything about flight trader? Or flight radar?
I'm focused on Ukraine right now.
Massive surveillance on our coast. Yeah, NBC is now reporting. Okay, once again, I need to zip out. You guys hang in there. I will be back. And I'm back. We have a friend from Russia and there's people in the Ukraine. Wow. Be interested in what your friend is saying. As for an amphibious assault on the U.S., the Russian Navy doesn't have the number of assault ships needed
No one's going here.
in any Russian fleets. I expect on Russia. Right. Russia's not attacking us right now. Russia is handling matters in its sphere of influence.
We have 75% of the military committed to Ukraine.
They have 75% of their military committed to Ukraine, and they are attacking Mariupol, they're attacking Odessa, they're attacking Kharkov and Kiev. Putin is a serious dude. I've said that, Pastor said that. He used to head their KGB. He pretty much worked his way up through their government and took control and made them pass a thing that said he could stay in office, and then he did all the steps of getting his government to say okay to him, to having Donbass be something under his influence and all that. It's not a surprise. It's not a surprise. Pastor's been talking about it for a while. Military analysts have been saying it's probably going to happen. So, per Marco Rubio, Spetsnaz attacking Kiev airport. That's what Pastor Joe said. As a matter of fact, he said they're doing exactly what he briefed, I guess, on his Patreon channel. Got my emergency truck vamped up with repairs. There is Mad Kel. Shalom, brother. We are not at war, but Russia's at war with Ukraine and attacking cities there right now. Wonder if we're going to see a modern battle of Kurks. Do not know. Prayers for sure. It's a serious thing. Maybe Russia will just take Ukraine and say, all right, we're done, and it'll
That is
end
what they
there.
wanna do, and that's what they'll do unless NATO gets involved.
Right. If NATO gets involved, it takes us a very serious thing. If Russia just takes Ukraine and says, okay, we're done, and goes back,
They're gonna
then
keep Ukraine.
it's not it's not a big deal. Of course they're going to keep Ukraine. They don't want people on their border with where their navy is being wishy-washy and playing power games. Trump's being interviewed on Fox right now, following along at work right now. The best cure for anxiety is action on preparing for your family and loved ones. Hopefully it doesn't affect our supply lines. Matt Cat, are you now moved or are you still on the East Coast? Kevin does have live cams still up. Yep, and you can get to them.
They're taking the dam that supplies the water to Crimea right now. I knew they did that.
They're taking the dam that supplies water to Crimea right now. Pastor said he called that as well. Thanks for the thumbs up. What did George say? I can't watch. I stay with the offer strength. Right, I'm not watching, but Pastor's definitely watching it. So we can analyze the military stuff. Our brother Matt, it would be good to see you again soon. Just go back to PA, be there permanently in a few weeks. All right. Well said, Donnie O'Keefe. What did Donnie say? Best cure for, oh, yeah. Yep. And prayer. Following along one girl's trip at work right now, my coworkers have no idea what's going on and aren't concerned. Oh my gosh. Well, make sure you tell them, even if they aren't concerned. PJ's Patreon has been spot on. All right. Thank you for the updates. You're welcome. If we focus on family faith, we can overcome watching the world burn, but at least we get to hang out together online. It's not the world yet. It's just one little section, and hopefully it won't involve everybody. Hopefully we stay out of it. Man. China will be emboldened to move on Taiwan if Russia succeeds in Ukraine. Right now would be the perfect time for them to do it when all eyes are on Russia and Ukraine. Only Texas spark tonight. That's true. Hey, Liberace, we should stay out of it. It's a regional conflict. That's what I believe. Thank you for coming on and talking with us. It helps. Well, and I want to, it's a historic moment. It's a very historic moment. This is real life stuff happening in our lifetime. And Ken's back. It's really important to keep your eye on the news to see who gets involved and who doesn't.
If NATO gets involved, people better start getting a fallout shelter.
Yeah, if NATO gets involved, you need to have a fallout shelter. Putin knows Biden is a feeble old man with dementia. Putin knows he can walk all over him. That's first and foremost intimidation. Duck's dog. It's also Russia having already told everybody Crimea is ours. Don't bother us. And Ukraine saying, no, we're going to cut off electricity and we're not going to let you have access to it and blah, blah, blah. I mean, it was just... Pastor Joe been talking about it. I've been talking about it for months. Exactly how this was going to go down. There's no surprise there. There is Lively Prepper. Shalom. Lindsey Graham, who never been a war he wouldn't want, wants us to get involved. Hopefully his voice is not heard because we don't need to get involved. There's Andy Vetter. Shalom, brother. Chaos breeds fear and paralyzation by analyzing. Sweetie, what's E4B Night Watch? I will.
It's flying up our east coast right now.
Yeah. All right. I'll be back. Give me a couple of minutes, y'all. All right. That was a quick one. Just had to allay a few people. Russia's using thermobaric MLRFs in Ukraine. Those things are hellfire, truly terrifying. Yeah, they've been building up and building up and building up. You know, they've been telling people, hey, this is going to happen. Jill and Hunter got to go after the criminals. It's the right thing to do for freedom and democracy. Bobby, it has nothing to do with us. We don't need to go over there. Report, Biden will address NATO tomorrow. Let Pastor Joe know I'm sure it's that glad I'm not too old to be, that I am too old to be called back into service. That's what D.L. Hemingway said. Hey, Raincat Studio, shalom. I thought you were, Bobby. It didn't make sense with what else you had said. Inflation will hit the roof. 6% raise on all food items. Romania just said refugees are already being housed. Well, thank goodness for that. Good morning from Greece. Please pray for us. Most Greeks want to remain neutral, but our corrupt politicians already got us involved because of NATO, and everyone fears a starting of a new. Biden will announce strongly worded sanctions. Hey, Brother Tim. He is very weak, but we should stay out. That's the way I feel about it. Greek Home said, I am so sorry. Yeah, you should be afraid because NATO should not be going to war with Russia. That would just be awful for Europe.
It'd be bad for Greece.
It'd be bad for Greece. And man, y'all are just a nice place to go visit. Like, you have enough problems, Greece. You don't need to be having more problems on top of that. Brother Tim, I have a question for you. We have a solar charger that is meant to be used for a fence, like around your property. It's what I used to have my horse fenced with. It's 5 miles. It's supposed to be good for 5 miles. And look at this. I never can get the lighting right. And I was wondering if we could use it with, say, something like a chicken fence or something like that. Oh, that's way too bright. Let me back that off a little bit. Or is that something that would just only be okay for using with the wires? With the insulators. It does have to have a grounding pole too. Oh, you know what? If I put that over there, then it won't keep casting a shadow because my hand won't be going over it all the time. Let's see if I can do that. There, that's a little better. You see me one-eyed there. Warn the Balkans between us and the Turks, right? You guys don't need that. I turned 60 Christmas Eve 2022. Would be interesting if they release Info 100. That would create some interesting stuff. Right? Maybe they're paying for it not to get released. Praying in the spirit for our country, Ukraine, and surrounding countries. It's also important that we remember to pray for our enemies. God bless us.
It looks like they're moving our high-level leadership to undisclosed locations.
We are moving our high-level leadership to undisclosed locations. You're talking about here, though, continental U.S.
Yep.
Yep. Our leaders are being moved just in case, y'all. NATO isn't prepared for a war like that. That's exactly right. Would they have Biden in a bunker already, says McMike? Yeah, probably. UN Security Council just had an emergency meeting. Going Rhodesian in very near future. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Going to Rhodesia? Israel bombed Damascus at 1 a.m. I don't know about that, Big B. Where did you get that information? There's Jen. Shalom. Yes, you can. We can use that charger with something like a chicken fence, honey. I told you it probably could. Thank you, Tim. Awesome. I think we're going to try something like that. We pulled all our extra cash out of the bank this afternoon. Ooh. Hadn't really thought about that. How cold is it there? Very cold. Below 20, I think. Putin told us what he would do, then did it. Yep. His yes is a yes and his no is a no. Yup. And he's used to being in control. He's been in control a really long time. Kessel doesn't touch. You need insulators to keep it from touching the poles. Okay. All right. There's no reason for this needless bloodshed. Embrace the love and light, everyone. Say a prayer for everyone who's involved in this horrible act. I think that's a good suggestion. It would be nice if that's how the world worked, but it's not. You got plenty of people who don't believe in the light at all. Good thing member says, what is going on in as all this is going on? Sorry, I don't recognize that flag. Is that China? Looking for solar batteries, almost near impossible to find. Battle-born batteries at $800 a piece. Initially, for solar, people just used golf cart batteries and marine batteries. Going back to work. See you all later. All right. All the politicians work like that. Madka, what kind of work? Works, 'tis be. None of them are our enemies, neither Russia nor Ukraine. Nope. Effective fence should be measured by joules, not miles. Find the ratio of fencing needed, then research joules needed to power, also ground properly. Trust me. Yep. I've got Tim to be my advisor. And yes, yeah. I know that charger has to have a grounding rod, and I've used it before with like 3 grounding rods. Hello, so Brendan, we all free. Pittsburgh, PA here. It's late there, right? 10 o'clock. A peculiar people. They keep Biden in a bunker, so if he speaks, nobody can hear him. Not really. What's new there with Israel bombing Damascus? Philip Hales.
No.
Nothing right now. Should I have a solid foreign policy relationship with Russia? 7 degrees in northern Colorado. Ugh. But since Hillary lost in 2016, Russia and Putin are the enemy. Well, they weren't enemy when Trump was in power. He didn't have any problems with them. See if I can make you a moderator. Oh, I can't do anything. I don't understand why they're not allowing me. I can't even put anybody in timeout right now. Flag is Taiwan. Oh, yeah, Taiwan. Thank you. You wanted us that fuel prices will skyrocket. Here it comes. Yes, it will. Those 6-volt batteries are okay, but even those are hard to find at the moment. Yep, it's a little late to be looking for all this stuff. Siri said 3 people were killed. Stay alert, be ready, Viking tribe. Shalom, stay safe, and blessings, says Kevin. Thank you. It's probably going to be a late night for Pastor and I, if I know us. Because we've got many irons in the fire. Also, prayers for our granddaughter. She's got a cold and she's thrown up 3 times. right. I'm taking an online course on how to beg in Chinese. Prepping 101 says dirty varmint. How to beg in Chinese. That's funny. Hopefully we won't need to do that, but it's funny. Trump put down the rules and worked with Putin on an eye-to-eye level. What we have now is a bunch of elitists who want to rule by decree.
You look like you're telling a ghost story.
Thank you, y'all. I know. Woo, and then war broke out and woo.
Shalom, y'all.
Yeah. There's my military analyst right there.
Hey, there you go.
Yodel and shalom all. Yay, another moderator. J.A., please keep on top. Hey, there's Clark Giles. Shalom, shalom. Clark, I'm assuming you're up on the news. You know Russia's attacked Ukraine. J.A., just keep your eyes peeled. I don't want any people giving these weird, going off in the left field conspiracy theories and nonsense like that. I want this to be about what's going on tonight. Sarah Hoskins, how did you do that? Did you do that with Google Translate? Have you read the 2011 book Currency Wars by James Rickards? I have not. It is Napalm Death Monkey. Part of it discusses the ongoing Ukraine-Russia fight over the gas lines and Russia's use of natural gas as a geopolitical weapon. I have not read that book, but I know all that. Because, for reasons, just got all my backup power packs and batteries on the chargers. SF Major is about as good as it gets for military analysis. Well, he's not bad, I'll give you that. Hello, everyone. Stopping and say hi for a short time. Kentucky Prepper 1792. Hello. Freedom Dad, Franklin Farmstead. Shalom. My mother-in-law is Chinese. Well, how convenient is that, Sarah Hoskins? You can ask her to translate. Good thing to look for is a Russian naval movement as well. Yep. Yes, I'm up on the news. Here come interesting times. Yes, sir. That's exactly right. And we should be praying our little nubbins off that this does not conflagrate in Europe and all of that. We have a good crowd tonight. We sure do. I use Google Translator. Well, we might as well use it while we got it available to us. Does Pastor think China will go after Taiwan now? You think China's going to try to go for Taiwan?
I'm not sure they can. I'm not sure they have the ability to put enough soldiers on landing craft and get them across the straits and onto land without getting killed.
He says he's not sure. He doesn't think they will. Doesn't think they can. This is a prep for the armor and mechanized infantry.
Oh yeah, after that, this is missiles.
Yeah, this is missiles.
And comes fighters and bombers.
And fighters and bombers. And if you have Navy near, you can have them.
Then artillery, then tanks.
Yeah, artillery and tanks. So no talk of lizard people tonight. Okie Storm Chaser. If you talked about lizard people, I know you were kidding. There are people who will come on here and just, blah, 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 whatever what you know what I'm talking about. I shouted to you when you pulled up, but you did not hear me. I can't believe that comment was held, Sarah Hoskins. Get calluses on your knees from praying. Good evening, Sister Kate says the Corona Leo 2. Taiwan will be a few years later, the long game, says J.A. Dudley. I'm moving to China, going to start America Town. Going to wear a cowboy hat and sell hot dogs. Dirty varmint, you probably make a lot of money. That's what the world thinks we're like, and they would probably be like, oh, American hot dogs with chili. I've always wanted to try that. You're probably going to stand out a little bit, but whatever. I think North Korea would test the waters first before China makes a move to slow Japan and South Korea. would test the waters first before China makes a move to slow Japan. I don't think North Korea is going to do anything. I don't think they're in any shape to do anything. But I think China may do something. Just got done with your video. Shalom, sister, praying for peace here. Hey, Rocklet Grange, me too. I hear that the wind and currents are not favorable for China to invade Taiwan this time of year. And also they have to cross water and you're kind of a target. I used to work on intel in Eastern Europe up to 2018. I think this armed conflict will end in a few days. Coach DB, that's my hope. I mean, I'm not trying to wish ill on the Ukrainians, but I think Russia, if no one else bothers them, will just take Ukraine and Crimea, solidify that, and go back home. Or occupy comes in to try to take it back, but I think
they don't want to fight NATO, but they're happy to if we push it.
Right, they don't want to fight NATO, but they're happy to if we push it. I think Peter would say lizards are people, probably no conspiracy in that. How strong do you think a cyber attack to USA is now? Wouldn't be a bad time to do it. Hopefully we have some defenses. Hey, Ken.
Our sanctions hurt them if they're going to do that or not.
Depends on if our sanctions hurt them if they do that or not, says Pastor Trip Creason. PJ was right on target about how these would go. Thank you, Trip. Trip says you were right on target, honey. The major outcomes, but Russia will keep the provinces they took over. That's my hope. That's my hope, Coach. Got to be Texas Pete tailgate chili. Too cold for lizard people in the North Hemisphere at this time. That's right. They're hiding under stones. Starving pit bull for China. Check out avia.pro. Got some vid coming in of the major bombing. You can also go to live cameras there. That's what Pastor was doing. No matter what, Yah is sovereign. Yes, he is. That's why they're starting all them fires. Reuters says Kiev airport being evacuated. There was a gun battle there, Pastor said. Putin was heavily influenced. Yeah, Russia's got to seize it so they can fly in troops. Putin was heavily influenced by Russia ultranationalist Alexander Dugin. He probably was, but I'll tell you what, as head of the KGB, come on. He was probably ultranationalist then, too. Dow futures down 800. Crude oil jumps 3%. There's probably going to be more of that kind of thing happening right now, McMikey. It is reported that Israel fired missiles at Golan Heights 23 February. Not confirmed. Other people are saying that they bombed Damascus.
I don't think so. I think I've seen that.
I don't know about that. Hopefully we will be able to afford gas and groceries still. Hopefully. Be a good time to have seeds and plan on having a big garden. Don't worry, everybody. Kamala has our back. Yes, that'll make me sleep tonight. Hope this ends soon and we don't get involved. That's my hope. One girl strike. Ukraine was the breadbasket of the USSR. The Kievan Rus was the foundation of Russia. This is Russia's sphere of influence. Yes, it is. And the Kievan Rus were Vikings. I don't know if you knew that. Considering politicians and celebs, lizard people is an improvement. Yes, PJ was spot on. I think I'm getting behind on these comments. Didn't Putin divide Ukraine into two new countries? So it's not like he's turning Ukraine into Russia, though. I meant China would use North Korea to bog down South Korea and Japan, but you're probably right, Sister Kate. I mean, they might. It'd probably be mostly Chinese troops coming down through North Korea to do those things. But yeah, I see what you're saying. Cyber attack in the USA is easy. The problem is the media missing information. My aunt does a lot of missionary work in Ukraine. Lots of Christ seekers there need extra prayers right now. Yes, they do. Has already figured out how to get around any sanctions Brandon can throw at him. they have a pretty strong economy right now. So I don't know what exactly we could throw at them that would actually bother them. I mean, they've got their equivalent of Walmart. They have billionaires over there. They have a huge country that can be very productive. So I don't know. No matter what they all do, I'm still packing tomorrow. Pray your flight does not take place in winter. That's exactly right. Because having been out there today, if you saw my video today, it was daggone cold and I had a lot of gear on. And everything took longer and was harder to do because of how cold it was. I want peace, but I know what God's word says will come. So all we can do is be prepared and pray. Yep. Cyber attacks are ongoing and happen in the thousands every day. Currently, insurance companies are allowing for mandatory cybersecurity insurance for companies. You should see that requirement in law soon. Shalom, Paul Garecki. Just got home from AED training and saw the news. Yikes. Yeah. Had to get online. I was watching a movie, checking, YouTube for the latest video. I uploaded a couple things onto the community section of my page and checked a few things. And was really ready to just maybe watch a movie and chill out. And when Pastor said Russia declared war on Ukraine, I said, man, I think I'm going to have to do a live stream because I wanted to you all to get on here so I could say this happened, and then you guys can, check the news and do all that stuff. United Steel workers are currently in bargaining over oil right now. If they go on strike on top of inflation, expect even higher, super happy, fun gas prices. Telling you what, now would be a really good time to have a donkey or a horse. I saw the media in other countries dictating the state propaganda. Now the USA media picks one side and pushes it even when it shows that it is a lie. Yeah, it's been like that a while, J.A. What is Iran up to? I don't know, Jen. I'm a little upset. Mr. Bread I was making tonight didn't rise well. Well, maybe Mr. Yeast was kind of old. Sometimes that happens. Lots of devout Christians in Russia, too. I think they're Eastern Orthodox, and under communist rule, you weren't allowed to, have beliefs like that. Churches were closed down, priests were killed. But I guess since Russia's opened up a bit, people are allowed to practice their faith more. There is Ohan and Shalom. Cyber attacks are nonstop. My wife works in cybersecurity. Major players are China, Russia, North Korea, and Central Africa, and the U.S. They're sanctioning banking, so now Russia can't borrow money from the West. I don't know that our money's worth anything anyway. They can just go to China. I might get a call. Starting seas indoors this week. Smart. Southern Prepper One has done an excellent series on surviving fallout. Good. I have to make it into bread pudding or croutons like lemons into lemonade. You can even feed it to your chickens, Matt. I wonder what tomorrow will bring. That's the question, Westhold. It'll be cold here soon. Bet you didn't know you're my weather girl and newscaster. I don't know if I'm any good at that. All right, Shalom, Mad Coat, let us know if you need a place to crash, says Vicky Fulkerson. Chicken feed. This is my worst case scenario. Get home opportunity with the ice storm. If nothing else, it's great practice. Yeah, it is, Kyle. And hopefully it'll stay great practice. Uh-oh. Live stream just froze. Chicken feed. I'm thinking most of Ukraine is Eastern Orthodox as well. Probably. They have rebuilt the Orthodox faith in Russia. Putin has been on church cathedral building program.
More Christian than American is now.
Pastor says they're more Christian than we are with our transgender people and our LGQBT people and liberalism. You asked about heat for the animals. Try metal barrel with compost. Oh, hon, thank you very much. Someone else said compost.
Supposedly Russian paratroopers are attacking the Kiev airport.
Russian paratroopers attacking the Kiev airport. Wow.
It'll be over by our morning.
It may be over by the morning. Well, the clock is still going, and yet the picture is completely frozen. So I don't know what's going on there. It's a very scary story.
Comments?
Yeah,
The people see you?
I assume.
Don't assume. Ask.
Can you all still see me? They're saying the video froze.
Doesn't matter.
Can y'all still hear me? I bet what happened was people woke up to it. You know what I'm saying? Like everyone in the US is now getting online and looking at their phones and everything, and it's froze up the service. You can hear me, you can see me. All right. I am lagging. The video very choppy. It's just working slow. Sounds like Putin is throwing the kitchen sink at him, and he said he was going to. Paul, that's what's happening with me right now. Here you find, there is Linda Hipple. She's a moderator too. I cannot dub anyone a moderator right now. All right, y'all, I'm going to go get myself something to drink, and I'll be back. Hang in there. Keep talking amongst yourselves. And I'm starting to get cold out. Ugh. I'm still here, you guys. I'm just running around a little bit. Oh. Ugh. It's getting cold in the cottage. I've got to get some warmer stuff on and get myself some tea. Holy shnikes, Joe.
I said it was going to happen, and it's happening just like I said.
Holy shnikes, Joe.
So they've done amphibious landings on Mariupol and Odessa, just like I said. They're going to take both ports.
They're going to take both ports. They're going to do it. There go the ports. They're taking them. I'm having some tea. I'm having some.
Tulsi Gabbard said this war and suffering could have easily been avoided if Biden admin and NATO had simply acknowledged Russia's legitimate security concerns regarding Ukraine becoming a member of NATO.
Yep.
Which would mean U.S. NATO forces right on Russia's border. She's absolutely right.
Tulsi Gabbard just made a statement that this all could have been avoided if Ukraine and U.S. U.S. and NATO. What? If Ukraine
acknowledged Russia's legitimate security concerns.
Yeah, acknowledge Russia's legitimate security concerns by not having a NATO country on their border. Because Ukraine was not part of NATO. And Ukraine, I guess, made did they join, or they made movements like they were going to join? They were making noise to join. If they had just not done that thing, they could have avoided it.
They hadn't messed around with Crimea.
Their sheepdog tanker. There's Lone Star Living. All right, I'm back. Yeah, the video, I'm telling you what, is Ukraine attacking back? Force dog, they're probably trying, but come on. Russia's got missiles, tanks, paratroopers, um,
Wait till the jets and the helicopters.
right, jets and
and their
helicopters.
artillery. They haven't started using their real artillery.
They haven't even started using their artillery yet. And I'm sure that Ukraine is like one state and Russia's like an entire nation. You know what I'm saying? It's like Montana going to war with our federal government. Excuse me. It's just it's like the big dog having a fight with the little dog. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me. Kiki Twist, what are you chewing on? What the heck is that? That's a piece of metal. Alright, she can play with that. She's not going to eat it. Sorry. The cat's over there messing around with stuff. This is not me excusing Russia for what they're doing.
I am.
But it's kind of like...
If I was Russia, I would do it.
It's kind of like they've been warning about it for a long time, so
It's like, back off.
it's not a surprise,
Get out of
right?
my grill.
Right, get out of my grill, back up. Look, she's eating a metal tea thing.
She's a crazy bobcat.
Crazy kitty.
Back off, Jack.
Oh man, you guys, woo. Wow, I am way off. Bombs and rockets. They haven't even started using the artillery, you guys. That about wraps it up. Tulsi Gabbard has been spot on since the DNC debates in early 2019. And before that, Philip, I just made myself a white Russian, Westhold Forge said. That is kind of funny. All of a sudden, I think I'd like to have some borscht and some black bread.
Dun, 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 dun.
You mean act like adults? Okay, I am way. Oh yeah. Okay, there we go. Putin does not want this to drag out. Exodus ad. I agree. Prayers for your eyes, lamp keeper. Yes, absolutely. Chat functional, but about it, I've got nothing. Swamp donkey off grid. That's an awesome name too. It might be just be the off griddiness and. Oh my goodness, lamp keeper. Yeah, prayers for your eyes. I think the reason it's lagging is because a lot of Americans were probably in the same, getting ready to go to sleep mode, getting ready for work, and everybody jumped on their phones and their internet and everything as soon as the war was announced. And so I think our waves are probably just overwhelmed because before I did the live stream, I had 3 bars on my phone. I had plenty of service. Hunter Kirk says shalom from North Idaho.
Who?
Hunter Kirk.
Yeah. I remember when he first joined, I thought it was our cousin.
Huh. He remembers when you first joined. Interweb is clogged. I think so. I meant NATO, USA act like adults and acknowledge Putin's concerns. Right. Ukraine is definitely not our circus, said Hunter Seeker. Well, they're getting slammed, and I don't wish that on anybody, and should be throttling down the cell service in anticipation of the attack. I could be over my limit, too, and that could be slowing it down. Some people I know are...
Did I tell people this was going to happen? Yes. The people
yes, you told people it was going to happen, and they said it would never happen.
It's never going to happen. It's happening.
It's happening. Just like you predicted. Well, I still have to work in the morning and pack in the evening, so shalom and good night to you. Good night. Good night, brother. Just keep your eyes on the news. That's all. Ordering Mosby's guerrilla gunfighter fighting carbine. People are... Yeah, do those last minute things, y'all. We don't know what's happening in the near future. I admit I thought Pastor was wrong, said Just Bob. I eat my words. Good night, all, said Matthew Bias. Shalom and good night, Mad Count. All right, I'm going to do that. It's not the cell, it's the internet. I am on my laptop. Yeah, Tommy Thompson, I think the internet's probably just exploding. It's probably not just in our country, it's probably worldwide. Kentucky Prepper, you have a interesting sense of humor. Why can't we be friends? Why can't we be friends? I've been following PJ and Bear for 3 years now. The positive impact you both have made in my life is something special. Thank you. And Sister Kate. Well, you're welcome. That's what we aim for. Is that one of the live things?
No.
Well, sister, I'm off too. I have an early morning. Much love to you and Patrick. God's blessing, crew. Good night, Gardner67. Be safe. I'm on my desktop, says Evelyn Vincent. All week, people across the country have been having tech connection issues. Larger problem at hand, in my opinion. Wonder how Poland feels. Poland always gets messed with. What I was going to say is someone I know is very concerned for the other ex-Russian states like Lithuania and Estonia.
You don't have to worry about them. They're part of NATO.
Pastor says, hey, can you give me a piece of that too, please?
Which one do you want?
Either one is fine. Lithuania and Estonia are part of NATO, so we don't need to be concerned about them. They're not going to go after NATO.
Unless NATO goes after them, and then it's on like
yeah.
Donkey Kong.
Look at this, nervous eating. These are the cinnamon sugar coffee cake I made tonight and posted on the channel. Internet runs fine when my daughters watch amusing videos, but certain channels like this, it does these things. Oh, that's not bad. I put a little extra cinnamon and sugar on it. Kentucky Prepper's going too. Good night. Thanks for stopping in. Patty Sanchez says, I'm nervous eating too, Sister Kate. Yeah. My gas tank was down to a quarter tank. Not only did I hear my husband's voice in my head, but now PJ's voice is chiming in. Don't let it go below a quarter. Smiling Mary, if you want to send your fry bread recipe on a comment or something, I would not say no to that. I really liked your taco idea. Look at me, what a slob. Need some Z's and weather coming in. Thanks to you and PJ up for the stream. Shalom. Shalom, Aledwin Mayor. Been fasting today. I will offer it up for peace. Nice. In moments like this, when the cinnamon rolls come out, I find keto hard to maintain. Well, sorry, Moonlight. I'm not trying to tempt anybody to get off their keto diet.
But PJ's off his.
Yeah, but PJ, we're both breaking we don't normally eat this late at night. Either one of us. I fill my car gas tank every other day. I don't like being low on gas. Me neither. Smaller, Smiling Mary. I'd really like to be eating it with my caffeinated tea. Pork-free keto, of course. Well, yes, that's understood. Lampkeeper says, yeah, I'm hungry now too. It's all nervous. Quarter tank is empty. Half tank of gas is critical empty. It's terrible. This is a bad influence. I apologize. Thank you, Smiling Mary. Beef bacon for the win. All right, wait. George said he just watched the UN meeting. They just had, and they said it's an embarrassment to them what Russia did. Kind of not really. They're not a military force in any way. They're only political. I'm only still up because you're such pleasant company. Well, thank you. We made a quadruple batch of peanut butter cookies. Tony is in peanut butter cookie heaven. It is all worth it. I like your name. I've thought about doing chocolate chip cookies today, but I just was not feeling like being super productive after spending all that time taking care of the animals. I was pretty much done. We can't see you being messy with your snack. Well, good. I won't be using much gas this week. I'm iced in. I hope to not go back to work until Monday. You're not the only one. The whole area is iced in, right? Has begun. This is as exciting as Desert Storm. Remember when that was on CNN, when CNN was new and we saw the laser-guided bombs wreaking havoc? Yes.
You want another one?
No, I don't. If I have anything else, it's going to be protein, I think. Although there are pizzas in there, Joe.
What?
Pizza's in the freezer. Turkey is great too. Eating potatoes over a wood fire in Branson. Yummy. No heater, but lots of wood. Thank you for come 2 years ago in Vegas, and glad to be out, especially now. Yeah, I can't imagine being in Vegas. You need fuel regardless. That's right. Ammo Depot just posted on Twitter. Ammo Depot just hit. Posted on Twitter, says Kyle. You've got me heading to grab a snack now, too, with all this talk of food. The PB cookie sent me over the edge. None of us can resist in the face of peanut butter cookies. A Western democracy is jailing its political opponents and stealing their money, and none of the other leaders of Western democracies care because they're hoping to do the same thing. Random tweet I saw. I think they're talking about Canada Napalm Death Monkey. And Trudeau said today he revoked that emergency act. So we'll see what's going. Crispy says shalom. We've been listening. PJ said Jimmy Carr. Waiting to see.
Is Jeremiah still on?
Jeremiah is still on.
You should show him your purse.
My what?
Your purse. He's the one that gave us that patch.
Oh, okay. I'll be right back. I'm supposed to show you something in there, Jeremiah. Okay. It's going to be a minute because there's a lag. But I'm supposed to show Jeremiah this. I'm going to be virtuous making a salad. That's a good idea. There, you can see it. I'll move it to a better. Farmstead Dad. There it is. I forgot I had peanut butter cookies. Break out the pizza!
We do have pizza.
Can anyone fill me in, please, says Moonlight. Russia attacked Ukraine. Seriously impressed with Sojin Gear and the Bear Fact 3. Good quality stuff. And Sojourn Gear, that kid, he can sew. Wondering how much of the weaponry we supplied Ukraine will become Russian property. I don't know if there's anything that'll be left.
It's pretty calm in Kiev.
Pastor saying it looks calm in Kiev. Stephen Wilson says he's having a cheese omelet with salsa verde. How did the Coke work for you today, Sister Kate? Would you suggest buying one? David Campbell, I did a video on that coat. My last one, it worked very well. It kept me warm and dry, and the pockets were well situated, big pockets with zippers and all sorts of things. I would recommend it. I liked it. Russia did attack. Yes, Christy B, they attacked Ukraine. That is concerning for sure. Not surprised, however. Right. It is newsworthy. It is historic. It is... Sorry, just got here. Don't worry about Christy B. Is the Ukrainian government calling on UN or NATO for military troop support? Granite State Man, we don't know. Shalom, Sister Kate, says Okie Bob. Russia is going to reverse engineer the Javelin missiles we supplied to Ukraine. I guess a Manhattan would be in order. Well, you do you, boo. I need some sleep. Night, everyone. Shalom, says Forest Dog. All right, just keep your head down and keep your eyes on the news. That's a good-looking patch, PJ. I wonder who had that idea, West Old Forge. Yeah, we're retired, so, we can sleep in if we need to. As a U.S. history teacher, this is extremely historically significant. Yes, it is. It is a big deal. That's why I thought, nope, I need to do a live stream for people like Christy B and Moonlight. Timothy Young says, guess PJ was right. Sorry, I'm late. Ukraine said the world needs to stop Putin and the aggression. Well, Ukraine, you shouldn't have poked the bear. Patty Sanchez says, you are her news.
Awesome.
Rob Painless says, good evening. It's Sister Kate Shuffer Mountain and everyone. Rob, you know, right? Russia attacked Ukraine. Bless you for this live stream. Well, thank you. Thank you. It's much appreciated. Well, I got concerned for everyone really quickly. As soon as he told me, I'm like, oh, snap. Oh, I don't want to say it's serious for us right now, but it could get serious for us. And I wanted people to know it happened. So many of us don't watch TV anymore. But PJ's been monitoring the internet all day long. What is hanging on the wall behind you? That's a basket. And I believe we bought those in Malaysia. These are great. Those are great. Hang on. Those are great, but I have a repeating dreams about owning one of his snazzy garden aprons. So cool and very limited. What's TV? Problem is now any U.S. or NATO planes waiting to deliver more weapons are pretty much grounded. Yep. Too much risk of a shoot down. What Ukraine has in country is what they have to work with now. That's right. Trying to pay attention. Thanks, guys, said Rusty Smith. Zelensky is a literal fascist dictator installed after Obama effected a color revolution in 2014.
Amen.
Right? That's the truth, Philip Hales. Yes, thank you all so much. Heard it from you first. Wow. Bobby J. Wells. Wow. Well, good. Sounds like an analyst. I have a basket just like one. They're terrific for garden harvesting. Yes, they are. This is the hubby of Lamp Keeper. Philip Hales, the comedian. I'm 10 miles from McCord, nothing taking off yet. That's probably good news. We don't want things to be taken off. Hmm?
Nothing's gonna go from McCord for Europe. McCord's oriented at Asia.
Nothing's going to go to Europe from McCord, Pastor says. It's oriented towards Asia. If it were going to go from here, they'd be taken off from where? Massachusetts?
Well, wherever, but
Somewhere on the East Coast?
just saying, McCord's looking at Asia right now.
McCord's looking at Asia right now. That's what Pastor said. Do you think UN gets involved? Timothy Young, here's the thing. The UN has no military. It's not a military organization. It has no soldiers. What it does is, that's why UN guys have blue hats and they're called peacekeepers, because what they do are they're like a neutral body who goes into trouble spots and tries to maintain the peace. And I don't think the UN's going to send anybody there while Russia's lobbing missiles around. G, was Ukraine signing an agreement to form closer ties with Russia instead of the EU in 2013 look so bad now? Gotta go. All shalom. Yahweh be with everyone. All right. I understand you guys, a lot of you guys have kids and work, and you've gotta. Russia has a veto on the UN Security Council. Yes, it does. Any word on the trucker freedom convoy in California? No. And I heard there was one in Texas too, in El Paso, but I don't know. Local Shreveport TV reporting Barksdale at DEF CON 2.
Nobody knows what DEF CON we're at. That's classified.
Okay, so Kyle M., nobody knows what DEF CON we're at because it's classified information. So that is not right. Everyone should probably be planting their gardens. Yep. So no then. Correct. No. DEF CON 3, you wouldn't know that. It's classified, Kyle. I doubt we get involved. I hope we don't. Personal DEF CON's at 4.
Well, your personal DEF CON can be whatever you want it to be.
That's right. Your personal DEF CON can be at anything you want to. Philip Hales, and so is Trudeau, and all the young leaders are too. Klaus has praised Putin as well. It's a big club, and we ain't in it. They know. Decon at Bragg. Do you mean DEF CON? Because decon means decontaminate. We don't want to be in it either, said David Campbell. War and rumors of wars. Green stamps must be anonymous. Got your ears on? What's green stamps? Moonlight says, I'd like to make my own buttermilk. Do you know how to do that, Moonlight? You don't actually make it. It is the milk left over when you separate milk when you're making butter. Only reason UN fought in the Korea War was because Russia abstained from voting. It did not realize the unintended consequences of that. Taiwan still held China's UN seat in 1950. Planting gardens, practicing skills, and filling holes right now, and praying. Korea was the only time the UN went to war. And it's still, they ask other countries to donate military people. They don't have a military. Getting 1 foot of snow in New Hampshire on Friday, yet it was 65 degrees today. Just a teaser. Veggie gardens are a distant dream. That's what happened here too. Tammy Day. I heard in my spirit yesterday the King of the North going to read Revelation again. Decon Foregon, Hunter Seeker. Haven't done it yet. Yeah, but the rest of the passage. Is this why Canada canceled their emergency powers that did not need COVID distraction anymore? Maybe, or he got so much flack on social media, maybe he actually paid attention to it. His citizens were very unhappy with him. UN in Korea was the United States Army. Exactly right. They don't have their own forces. The US said, yeah, we'll send our guys. And there is C103. Shalom, just listening. Well, has anybody heard anything else from the Ukraine? Any updates? Good evening, says Michelle, W19. Grant State Man, we're strolling around in shorts and tees this afternoon. Now we're turning on the electric blankets. My snow total as of today is 256 inches. My garden won't go in till June. Ugh, but you can start plants indoors now. Almost bedtime. Well, you know why we're on, right, Michelle? Russia attacked Ukraine. It's all over the news. Hmm? Well, Hans Heyman just showed up. There are several live streams on YouTube that are in Kiev, but I can only watch one thing at a time. Good evening, Hans. The UN is totally corrupt now. However, look at the WHO and the pandemic, the corruption in Iraqi oil for food program, child sexual abuse from UN peacekeepers with zero consequences. Canadian banking system has been catastrophically affected by Boy Castro declaring emergency powers. That could have something to do with it. Doubt Canada dictator care what the people think. There are reports that Russian commandos have stormed the city of Kiev. They absolutely have, and the airport. I've been listening to my ham radio. I'm not hearing much, and what I do hear is the same stuff you and Pastor are saying. Curse and steal. Sounds like a good time to stay inside. The Chomsky honk says last update airstrike near Bakhmut. I have a Ukrainian neighbor and he has a cousin in Kiev that was welcomed by the explosions. Well, that poor fellow needs to keep his head down and out of the way. Is there something about if the U.S. declared war, the whole U.S. is to give to war effort, things like food, materials, building, accepting? Well, Christy B., if we were at war and needed it, they would absolutely do that thing, but hopefully we won't get involved in this war. Thank you for this update. Very useful. Sleep well, SK, PJ, and community. Thank you. There's Rainy Horvath. Hey. It's not the people that truly care about, it's the international banking system. That's not true, Chasing Life. We just give you our take on the news. We're not reporters. Excuse me. I thought we were just doing sanctions. We probably are right now, Rainy. We'd have to wait and see what the next couple of days bring. Find out that you were live from Brother J.A. Dudley. I am not getting notifications from YouTube. Sorry. We kind of started this war. We didn't stop it. You mentioned starting garden indoors. Can't get my onions to grow. I know it doesn't have to do with Ukraine. I've never done onions inside either. I think it probably has something to do with sunlight and the temperature. I didn't get a notification from YouTube either. And I didn't put anything on the community page, I don't think. Maybe I did. I just hopped online because I was so surprised. Ew, excuse me. Someone wake Joe Biden. He's passed out in a bowl of pudding. Our senior leadership has already been moved, Chomsky honk. So, although that's funny, it's not true. He's already been moved. This is like a visit with friends talking about current events. And Rainey says she's going to start her seeds soon. I did put some in the greenhouse. I did some cabbages and some broccoli. Obama and Biden's ignorance and hubris led to this mess. We will now do sanctions to get cyber attacks, and we'll have a worldwide financial and supply chain crisis. I honestly felt it would be a few days. Well, Pastor's been counting down, and I wasn't convinced until his latest, like 2 or 3 days, where he, talked about all the different things that Russia was doing. How's the rabbits going, Sister Kate? They are fine. He's not breeding them right now, but they're fine. I just noticed my Y2 bell notification was turned off. My brother and I text me, I wouldn't have known. I keep missing your live stream, Sister Kate. It's great to be here with y'all. Unfortunately, Hans, you've come in sort of near the tail end because Pastor was giving me the get offline kind of signal. Just purchased a bunch of food from Elias today to add to my year supply. Good. Already have worldwide financial supply chain crisis. Sanctions won't work. Russia debt to U.S. is like 20%. Right. I don't think sanctions are going to do a doggone thing. Ria is getting artillery strikes. They hadn't started their artillery last time Pastor reported. State of the Union is March 1st this year. Can you imagine the lies coming out of the mouth of POTUS? Do you think they will press on Finland? I do not. What's the next move, PJ? I believe it started won't taste too good, but will be exfoliated. That's important. What's the next move, honey?
They're gonna surround and isolate Kharkov and Kiev, and they're gonna go for a regime change.
They're going to surround and isolate Kiev and Kharkov and do a regime change. That's what Pastor said, and I think that's probably
after they consolidate
right.
On the
ports. After they consolidate their gains on the ports, once they've got the country pretty much locked down, they're going to do a regime change. It's going to be friendly to Russia. Okay. Yep. Prepare for lights to get turned off by cyber attacks, folks, because it honestly might happen. Around here, in my prepper, the lights go out when we touch the on-off button. I'm going to go ahead and say good evening for now then. Thanks for the visit. The countries applying sanctions. Germany pulled out of the pipeline deal with Russia, I heard today. Germany pulled out of the pipeline deal. Will sanctions hurt the Russian economy enough? I doubt it, Tammy.
Sanctions aren't going to do anything.
Yep.
Except hurt the American people.
Yep, their economy is pretty strong. I don't think it's going to do a daggone thing. Ban on amateur radio transmitting devices in Ukraine. Yep, that's true. When the refugees start streaming over, it's going to be interesting. I heard the president was arrested, but who knows? Wonder if they'll devolve into an insurgency war in Ukraine. I don't think they're going to be strong enough to.
No.
I'm seeing video clips out of Kiev, and it's pretty much explosions and sirens. Lots of vehicle traffic. China purchased 100 million tons of coal from Russia. Russia, for the past 10, 12 years, has been heavily investing in gold. Wondering what the Russian people think. They have many relatives and friends in Ukraine. Putin can handle unhappy sins a lot easier than Biden can, as far as Russians have gotten used to being on their own. President requires a legitimate election. And there's Jason Thomas. Get out of here. Hey, young man. You saw that Russia attacked Ukraine, right? Some big doings going on. Regime change means they get rid of Obama's people. Get rid of Obama's people there. Heather, all the evidence on. Are you saying get rid of all the evidence on Biden Obama? I have to take off, folks. Have a blessed evening and stay frosty. It's going to be interesting over the next few weeks, I think. Shalom. Could there be an uprising against Putin? No, not in Russia. The people love him. I heard they're having cyber. They want a czar. That's what they're used to. I've heard they're cyber attacks over there. That's what they just said on the news. I heard they're having cyber attacks. They're having real attacks too, Gina Seal. Wonder how air travel would change in the near future or not. Well, you're definitely not going to be heading east right now. All right, let's see. Keep it classy, friends. Jason, you just got on at the last minute and I'm getting ready to get off. So if you have any questions or anything, go ahead and ask it. And if you don't, I suggest you can watch this when it turns into a video because there was some good information put there. But the smartest thing for y'all to do right now is get on your phones, look at your news feeds, keep track of what's happening in case we get involved. Because if we get involved, that changes everything for all of us. There could be a draft. There could be all sorts of bad things coming. Nukes, draft, shortages, world war, all sorts of horrible stuff. So, all right, y'all. I am going to say goodnight because it's getting late. I appreciate everyone for coming out tonight. This is a really momentous time, so just keep your eyes peeled. Watch the news and all that stuff and pray. Shalom, y'all. Good night, good night, good night. Bless you. Me too, Ann Bear. We'll just have to see. I might have to have some sleepy time tea or take a shot of hen. Bless you. Shalom. Thank you, J.A. Bye, 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 bye. Here we go. Okay, I'm stopping streaming.